Good afternoon. Today we are going to deal with carbon and its compound, which we have started earlier in the previous video. Today I would like to deal with the fact that why is carbon not able to form ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are formed by the complete transfer of electrons from metallic atom to the non-metallic atoms. So whether metals or non-metals, metals have tendency to lose electrons and for positive ions, and non-metals have tendency to accept electrons and form negative ions. Now let us try to understand why carbon is not able to form either carbon tetra positive C4 plus ion or C4 minus ion, that is tetra negative ions. See here, the atomic number of carbon is 6. If we go through the electronic configuration of carbon, we have its electronic configuration 2 and 4. Means first cell, means K cell of carbon contains 2 electrons, and L cell means second cell contains 4 electrons. So during the transfer of electrons, the combining elements must acquire the nearest unit gas electronic configuration. So if carbon can lose all of its valence electrons, that is 4 electrons from its outermost orbit, it will achieve the electronic configuration of what? Electronic configuration of helium, the nearest inert gas element helium, and 4 electrons will be released by this carbon atom. But is it possible to release 4 electrons? No. Why? You know that the minimum amount of energy required to remove one of the valence electrons from its outermost orbit, there is a requirement of energy, and this energy is known as ionization energy or ionization potential or even ionization enthalpy. So the ionization potential required to remove all the 4 atoms becomes so large that it cannot be supplied during the chemical reaction. So first ionization potential, second, third and fourth. The magnitude of energy associated with the first ionization energy is greater than second, less than second, means the second ionization energy is greater than first, third is greater than second, and fourth is greater than third. So as we go from one energy level to another, means removal of one electron after another, we will require much more energy. That is, the fourth ionization energy is so large that it cannot be supplied during the chemical reaction. So carbon is not able to form tetra positive ions. Now let us come to understand why carbon is not able to form tetra negative ion also. See here, in order to have the nearest inert gas configuration, the another possibility is to achieve or to receive 4 electrons in its outermost cell, that is valence cell, and have the nearest inert gas configuration of neon, that is 2 and 8. In this case, four electrons have to be introduced in the valence shell. You know, there are four electrons already present in the valence shell. And so if we try to introduce the fifth, sixth, seventh or eighth electron in the valence shell, what will happen? The incoming electrons must experience a repulsive force. And due to this repulsive force, much more energy is required to introduce the electron. So the first electron may be introduced into a neutral atom, but the second electron will be introduced into the negatively charged mononegative ion, that is C minus 1. Again, repulsive force gets increased. The third and fourth tetranegative ions means third, after the third negative ions, formation of third negative ion, that is C minus 3, the fourth electron must be introduced to have the octet configuration, and in doing so the fourth electrons has to overcome very much repulsive forces, that is also not possible to face it. And if it is introduced there, then what will happen? See here, there are only 6 protons in the valence in the nucleus of the carbon atom, and the total number of electrons in first and second cell will become 10. So it is quite impossible to hold 10 electrons by 6 protons in the nucleus. So it is not possible to form tetranegative ion, that is C4 minus carbide ion. So carbon is not able to form either tetra positive ion by removal of all the 4 valence electrons, or have tetra negative ions by receiving 4 electrons in the valence shell. So this is the main reason why carbon is not able to do so. So now what is the next option for carbon to form organic compounds? You know, carbon is non-metallic element. So the last option for this is to share electrons. That is why carbon participate in sharing of electrons. So by the sharing of 4 electrons between other carbon atoms or with other element, means the atoms of hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and so many other non-metallic elements. So when there is a sharing of electrons between the atoms, carbon is able to form a very large number of organic compounds. And let us try to understand what is a covalent bond. You have already seen here that carbon does not form any compounds with other elements. They mostly form covalent compounds. Now let us try to understand what is covalent compound. Covalent compound is a compound formed by the sharing of atoms, sharing of electrons between the atoms, sharing of electrons between the atoms. So when two non-metallic elements come together to form covalent compound, means their atoms participate in bond formation by the mutual sharing of electrons. The chemical bond formed by the sharing of electrons is known as covalent bond. Now, covalent bond may be of different types. that is single covalent bond, double covalent bond, or triple covalent bond. How is it possible? What do we mean by single covalent bond? When the covalent bond is formed between two atoms by the mutual sharing of single electron each. Suppose hydrogen is a very simple element, non-metallic element, and you know hydrogen exists in nature as diatomic gas. The molecular formula of hydrogen gas is H2. Now let us try to understand how hydrogen molecule has been created or formed. Let us try to understand here. Hydrogen means H. It has atomic number 1 and there is only one electron in its first cell, that is one electron. So if we try to explain or represent the covalent bond as the Lewis electron dot structure, two hydrogen atoms then come in contact with each other to share the single electron. What will happen? Both the hydrogen atoms share one of its valence electrons. Now let us see how this sharing could be represented. Now H and H. This is the single covalent bond. See here. What is covalent bond? The chemical bond formed by the sharing of electrons is known as covalent bond. Here, two hydrogen atoms are bonded together with single covalent bond. See here, the one of the valence electrons or the only one valence electron present in the hydrogen atom share with other hydrogen atoms. Their single electrons are shared between the nuclei of both the atoms, and this is known as shared pair of electrons. So the pair of electrons involved in the sharing is known as shared pair of electrons. So here the sharing is between two hydrogen atoms by one electron. That is why this is a single covalent bond. So single covalent bond means a covalent bond formed by the sharing of one electron each. Now let us see here the formation of HCl. What happened? How HCl bond is formed? See here. Hydrogen has one electron and chlorine has 7 electrons in its valence shell. As you know, the atomic number of chlorine is 17. So Cl 2, 8 and 7. The valence electrons can be represented by writing same number of dots around the atom, symbol of the atom. See here, hydrogen has one electron. Now, hydrogen combines with chlorine atom, and this happens by the sharing of one electron here also. See, H shares one of it's only one electron with chlorine atom, and this forms a single covalent bond between hydrogen and chlorine. We can write here CHCl. So HCl is a molecule formed by the sharing of one electron between hydrogen and chlorine. Now see here, chlorine has already acquired 8 electrons in its valence shell and hydrogen has acquired 2 electrons. Because there is a need of only 2 electrons to have the nearest inert gas configuration of helium for hydrogen, but chlorine has attained 8 electrons in its valence shell. So both of them have acquired the nearest inert gas configuration and become stable. So this is the basic requirement for formation of the covalent bond, because by doing so both of them got the stable electronic configuration or a stable electronic structure. Similarly, when there are sharing of two electrons between the atoms, the two covalent bonds are formed. See here, oxygen. You know, oxygen also exists in diatomic state, that is O2. Wow, this O2 molecules have been formed. You know there are 6 electrons in the valence shell of oxygen. So when two oxygen atoms come together to form covalent bond between these two, the prime requirement of this is to have 8 electrons in the valence shell of both the oxygen atom. Now, in doing so, if two oxygen atoms combine together in just a way by sharing of the pair of electrons between the two, both the oxygen atom will come and combine together by sharing of two electrons, and that is why double covalent bond will be formed between the two oxygen atoms. So this is the sharing of two electrons, that is oxygen atom has acquired 8 electrons here. Now if we denote this as oxygen, there are double covalent bond between two oxygen atoms because both oxygen atoms have contributed a pair of electrons by doing so. So double covalent bond is formed. Now let us come to know how triple bond between two atoms are formed. See here nitrogen N2. It is also a diatomic gas, diatomic molecules. That is the molecular formula of nitrogen is 2. You know the atomic number of nitrogen is 15. The electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 5. Means there are 5 electrons in the valence shell. So in order to represent the covalent bond between two hydrogen atoms, we have to furnish this electronic configuration here. There are 5 electrons around this nitrogen, symbol of the nitrogen atom, and when the two nitrogen atoms come together to form the covalent bond, what will happen? If both of the nitrogen atoms are combined together or by the sharing of 3 electrons each, then what will happen? There will be formation of 3 covalent bond between two nitrogen atoms. See here, nitrogen atoms, that is nitrogen atom shares 3 electrons of electrons present in the valence shell, and a pair of electrons remain unshared. So see here, this is the triple covalent bond between two nitrogen atoms. Triple covalent bond between two nitrogen atoms. This is N2. So these are the 3 various forms of covalent bonds. Here, both of the nitrogen atoms have contributed 3 electrons each between the two, and both of them acquired the nearest inert gas configuration of neon and become stable. So the basic requirement of this is to achieve 8 electrons in the atom. This is the basic requirement for the formation of covalent bond or become stabilized. So such covalent bonds will also be formed in other covalent compounds, either inorganic or organic. You will study later that in almost all organic compounds, the atoms are bonded together by or through the covalent bonds. This will be discussed in next video. Thank you. Thank you very much.